So it was 2007. I'd just arrived in America. I'd been here maybe 11 months. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. I was on TV and we were presenting for the first time a blood pressure monitor. And there was an amazing gentleman, a registered nurse by the name of Matthew Peters. He was on with me and we were doing the presentation and he was doing my blood pressure. And as he was taking my blood pressure, I looked at his face. I was looking at the camera, but I was looking at his face. And I saw this look of despair. And he looked at me and he was very kind and he didn't really say anything. He said, oh, there must be an issue with the blood pressure monitor. We'll do it again in a few moments. Anyway, we went to a break and he said, Adam, you need to go see a doctor immediately. He said, your blood pressure is sky high. He said, Adam, I'm not kidding. I know it's 3 o'clock in the morning, but you need to go straight to the hospital. You need to see a doctor. Well, I was panicked. I mean, I was 27 years old, you know, living my best life, just moved to America. I didn't look like I had high blood pressure. Well, the truth of the matter was, I did have scary, dangerous high blood pressure. And I spoke to the doctor and the doctor said, listen, you've moved over, you're working the night shift, your diet's not very good, you know, you're under a lot of pressure, you're lonely. I mean, I just moved over. He said, you're feeling the effects, you've got high blood pressure, but don't worry. We've got medication, we can help get it under control. Do this and make these changes. I got it under control and thank God it was okay. There are millions of us who are walking around with high blood pressure and we don't even know it. You don't have a certain look when you have high blood pressure, but it is a secret silent killer. I am obsessed with sharing this information because when you know your numbers, you can take care of it. It's not the end of the world, you can take care of it. For this show only, because the team know how passionate I am about blood pressure monitors and I never get to sell them anymore, they took it down to $19.99. You can go to the drugstore today and spend $100 on something very, very similar. I think it's disgusting because when it's so highly priced, people don't buy them and then they never know the blood pressure. Tonight for 2,000, I think it's 2,500 customers, they took it to $19.99 because they know how important it is to me. I want you to meet the man who I credit with saving my life that night. He's our registered health professional. Mr. Matthew Peters is here in the house. Matt, come on in, my friend. And as always, I want to thank you, truly.
Nice to see you.
You changed everything for me that night. I'll never forget it.
You know what? And you've changed so many people's lives since then. So that is a brilliant story. It's brilliant because we're sitting here now and everything's okay. It's not brilliant before we know the information. And everybody out there, a couple of takeaways here. We're doing this show right now so that you can get this heads up, get the advanced technology now. I cannot believe the price on this unit because I want to start here, everybody. Viridian and Smartheart, we've been around for about 45 years. So we know what we're doing. These are clinically accurate readings. You get your systolic over your diastolic. You get your heart rate. Like Adam talked about, we can actually interpret our readings by looking at them visually. We know this one's in the green. This is going to store 199 of these readings for one user and another 199 readings for a second user. The beautiful thing about this, Adam, is that we talked about prices going crazy everywhere. The only inflation we're going to talk about tonight is this is the brand new inflation technology from Viridian. So it has that inflation and deflation technology. That means about 20 to 25 second readings, clinically accurate. And I want to hit those statistics because we have Adam sitting right here. He looks healthy. And one of the things that we often talked about is that you didn't feel a thing when your blood pressure was just going out of control, did you, Adam?
No, I felt nothing at all. Unless you'd have shown me that night, I would never have known. Who knows what could have happened? I nearly died.
Yes, yes. And that was the look on my face that you saw, and you were a little horrified, but now everything's okay. So let's talk about the statistics and what's going on in this country, because it is, look at this. 116 million adults in this country. So that's about half of us have high blood pressure, but only about a quarter of us even know about it and even have it under control with medications. Those are the alarming statistics. Tonight is the lesson that with Adam's story and with stories like this, we get to get this under control just by having the information and being able to do something about it, because everybody, heart attacks, strokes, they call blood pressure the silent killer, high blood pressure, because it leads to those things. But in this day and age, we have the technology to get ahead of it, to know what the information is. What I love about this unit is it's gonna fit wrist sizes 5.5 to 7.5 inches. So it's gonna fit everybody. It's gonna give you quick readings, and all you're gonna do is put it on your wrist and check that one button, press one button, and 20 to 25 seconds later, you have that accurate reading, Adam, so that when you check this every day and you know your numbers, then you could just bring this to your doctor's office and say, Doc, this is what my blood pressure's been doing. Is that correct? Or what should we do? Should we calibrate my medications a little bit differently? It is a game changer, and it is a winner. And for the price of what? A cheeseburger and fries, you get this home and you have a clinically accurate unit that you could actually share with a loved one and use it with your doctor's office to actually live a better life, right?
I don't want to waste this valuable time I have with Matt to talk about limited, and it's selling out, and it is selling out, and it will be sold out in 5 minutes. There is no other blood pressure monitor at $19.95. Again, Lisa and Jamie did this for me, and I'm so grateful for them doing it. I've not presented one in so long. I will tell you now, I wish we had 5,000 of them, because it's the most important product I will talk about this evening. You're seeing 700 sold. I have 800 orders coming through. How many left, Jared? Forgive me. I don't. Okay, with everyone on the phone, they're saying about 1,600 left, and with everyone on the phone, under 1,000. So it will be gone. What's more valuable than me spouting out about all the limited quantity is the reality of this situation, which is, it is scary to have high blood pressure. It's scarier not to know you have high blood pressure, like I did not know. I would never have gone to get it checked. And I was 27 years old. You feel like you're young, you're invincible. Thank God Matt was here that night and did that. Thank God I was presenting it and saw that. So I was able to get it under control, and that's the happy ending. It's okay if you've got high blood pressure, because there are so many wonderful things that can be done to get it under control, and that's what I ask of you. All I ask is that you know your numbers, but promise me one thing. Even if you miss out on this lowest price ever deal, please be careful, because if you go to the drugstore, they sell blood pressure monitors. They are quadruple this price, more than that. Silly money, and people buy them every day of the week. I think, personally, I think it's crazy, and I'm so proud, Matt, that we have this for under 20 bucks.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning
Affordable.
that. Yeah, and because a lot of times those units that you see that are so much more expensive, they don't have the accurate technology, and Veridian does. They have a track record in this for literally decades. And I want to share this with everybody, because this is important. You talk about getting ahead of things that are potentially so awful that we can get ahead of. I'm going to show you this because this is very comfortable on my wrist, everybody. This is a latex-free cuff, so if you have any sort of sensitivities, just like in the doctor's office, you don't have to worry about that. I'm going to be sitting here when I take my blood pressure every single morning, just feet flat on the ground, and you got used to doing this after we had that show that night, right? Yeah. And so all you want to do is have your Smartheart monitor right here at heart level. So I'm just showing you this to show you exactly where you're going to position it. That way it's not fighting against gravity. It's right here at my heart, and all I'm going to do is press one button, and it's going to be 25 seconds to get that clinically accurate reading. It's important to do it in this position, everybody, because if you don't, you could get a slightly different reading that's maybe not your baseline reading, if you're moving around too much, if you're too caffeinated. So it's important to do it in the right position. But here's the thing, at home, when you get these readings, and you can actually take a look and see what happened. And if it's not what you're used to, everybody, you can just take a few deep breaths, press that blue button again, and in about 25 seconds, you're going to get another reading, because, Adam, you learned this. Our blood pressure changes literally every millisecond, and we're moving around. So you need to make sure that you have this information that's trending. That's why, everybody, I don't want you to get something that doesn't have a memory bank like this. 199 readings for you, another 199 readings, that's almost 400 readings. That's like 6 months worth of blood pressure readings that you can take into your doctor's office. And especially if you take blood pressure medication at home, you might not take your medication sometimes because you have that war with yourself where you say, I just feel like I'm on my behind, I don't have the energy, so I'm not gonna take my medication. Everybody, if you go to the doctor's office once every year and you have a really high reading, they're gonna medicate you based on those readings that they see in the clinical environment because that's all they have. But when you have your Viridian at home, you can actually go through and get these clinically accurate readings, bring them into your doctor, and they'll differently calibrate your medications to make sure that it works with you, your energy level, and your lifestyle.
And the thing is, you know, it's an easy one to use. Knowing Matt all these years and after digging into them, you know, so frequently, there's a lot of complicated ones. There's ones that are really not so user-friendly. This is so simple. You can do it by yourself. You press the one button and it's gonna show you your systolic and diastolic numbers. You know, the reality is being able to track the readings, as Matt is saying, allows you to get a more accurate picture over time, and you share that with your doctor. I am so grateful that I was in a position where, you know, not knowing I was having my blood pressure taken. But I will never forget the look on Matt's face. I looked at him, and we were live on TV, and I could see something was wrong. And I looked down at the monitor, and it was, at the time, it was basically flashing. I didn't understand what the numbers meant. But when we went to break, and he said to me, you know, in all sincerity, Adam, you need to go to the doctors. And I don't mean next week, you need to go now. He said, your blood pressure is off the charts. Thank God he was here that night. I want to put you in that same situation. And at less than $20, we can afford to know our numbers. Because we want the loved ones in our life to be with us for as many years as is possible. This gives us the knowledge and information to understand what's going on. And when we understand what's going on, we can take action. But if you don't know what's going on, well, nothing's ever going to change. Yeah. I wish I had 10 times as many as we do. Now, obviously, this will sell out. The most important product of the night.
Do you know how many people, so out of just last week, about 10 people that I randomly check their blood pressure, and they have elevated numbers, probably about 2/3 of the time. A lot of those folks have no idea. That's a ticking time bomb. And a lot of those people walk away, and I think to myself, I wonder what's gonna happen in the next 6 months, in the next year, in the next 5 years of their life with that blood pressure running like that. Thank goodness we didn't have to go through that with you. Everyone at home, this is your opportunity to make sure you don't have to have that what if moment. You can always be sure about what's going on. Having that confidence not only keeps you healthier and keeps you around on the planet longer with your friends and loved ones, but it also gives you confidence and peace of mind knowing what's going on inside your body and with those numbers, so that you don't have to do it in this bright light clinical setting all the time or with people looking over your shoulder.
White coat syndrome.
Yeah, discretion is everything. When you have your health and you have those tools, then that allows you to get the information without feeling like you're a guinea pig or you're uncomfortable. And that's what we're all about. I don't like to go to the doctor either, just like Adam, just like you at home. This is why we're doing this show, so that you can get ahead of it with the information and work with your doctor and have less of those stressful incidents.
And it's, you know, it might sound silly to say, but it's a good one. It's a good one. Our resident health professional, Mr. Matthew Peters, brings us these, and this is a good one. You can go and spend 4 times the price and get a good one, but you can also get some maybe that aren't as good or not as easy. We are calling it sold out. Do not hang up. We are counting you in. So if you're on the phone, we have one for you. If it's in the shopping cart, check out as fast as possible. Thank you so much, and Matt, as always, sir, I thank you.